Hello, everyone. Welcome to this feature length, definitely not 5 minutes long documentary about myself. Hello there, little stick man. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Barry. And looks exactly like that in real life, stick figure and all, tiny round hands. I figured the best way to talk about what I'm going to talk to you about would be to draw it out on a whiteboard. I know it's a little bit cliche, but whatever. So without further ado, welcome to my life. I'm going to skip everything about me growing up and being born and being a kid and being extremely stupid and talk about an event that was really important to me. So my mother does not like snakes, not a fan of snakes, and did not make me very, very happy. But she did let me get a pet reptile, a pet bearded dragon I named Thorn, and I was very, very happy with this bearded dragon named Thorn. It was very cool to have a reptile of my own because I wanted to be a herpetologist, which means I wanted to study reptiles. I knew that since I was a kid. Very strange thing for a kid. But my passion was reptiles, and I couldn't imagine it being anything else. However, I had little contact with snakes growing up. My mother wouldn't let me have one in the house, and I never really got to see them very much except for like zoos and things like that. But I did get the chance to volunteer through the North Carolina Herpetological Society at an event called Reptile Day, being held at a science museum that was close to my house. For this event, my job was to man a trivia table that talked about different types of snakes that were native to North Carolina, like telling the difference between venomous and non-venomous, and that was okay, I guess. But what I really, really enjoyed, what really spoke to me about that event was my responsibility of holding on to a corn snake and letting other people come up and touch it and hold it and talk to them about it and teach them a bit about snakes that made good pets. And this made me very, very happy. When I came home and I told my mother about it, she was like, still no snakes in the house. I was like, I will not be defeated. Muscles and rawr. I felt like I had to change my mother's mind about reptiles, especially snakes. So at Davidson College, which is a university that I was interested in when I was still in high school, they had an event called Reptile Day, their own Reptile Day, where the biology department brought out all the reptiles and stuff and showed it to people that came to visit the university. One of the stations was a cage with a corn snake in it. So I picked up the snake and showed it around to my family, and we all tried to convince my mother to hold the snake. This would be her first time ever holding a snake. Eventually, she gave in to our peer pressure and let me put the snake in her hands, and the shock on her face was priceless. Pretty sure she had nightmares for a week after that, though. This whole experience made my mother realize how serious I was about studying reptiles. So, to show her support, she called up someone from the North Carolina Herpetological Society and asked him what she should do to find a snake. He actually had a snake that she could adopt from the museum where I had volunteered previously, so they got talking back and forth. This entire time, I was hopelessly ignorant of everything that was going on. And time passed by, and new semester rolled around. July, summer turned into December, and it wasn't until December 25th where I learned what was going on. So everyone's downstairs unwrapping presents as families do on Christmas, if they're Christian, I guess. And there was this big box with a big bow on it, and I had no idea what was inside of it. I knew it was for me, but I had no idea what was inside of it. So I opened it up, and it turns out it was everything I needed to start owning a snake, cage and everything. However, no snake. So it wasn't until January where I got to meet my snake for the first time. He is a beautiful corn snake, which I named Ruby for his red markings that went down his back, which resembled rubies. I was incredibly surprised that it was actually my mother that came up with the idea of getting me a snake and showing her support in that manner. I love this snake so much. It's so adorable. I've learned so much by watching it, and it's rekindled my passion in reptiles all over again before I went off to college and finished up high school. And honestly, I can't thank her enough. It makes me incredibly happy that I have this snake now. So thank you, Mom, so much for getting me this snake and putting up with it and having me feed it and everything like that in the house. Thank you so much for watching and listening to this chapter on my life. I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as I did making it.